alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
In the most holy name of Allah, who came to us, the black man and the black woman here in the hills of North America, in the divine person of Master Farad Muhammad, the great Mahdi, and the one God to whom all holy praise is due forever, the Lord of all the worlds. We forever thank him for his coming and for his raising up in our midst a divine leader, a divine teacher, and a divine guide in the personage of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the last and the greatest messenger of Allah. So it is in their two great names that I would like to greet you once again, my beloved black brothers and sisters, in the nation of Islam's greeting words of peace in the Arabic language, which is indeed the original language of the original black man.
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, sir.
All praise is due to Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I promise you that I'm not lying when I say that I know how the messenger felt when he would come up and you would hear him give the greetings and he would say how happy he is to see your smiling faces.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
All praise is due to Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
All praise, brother.
Now, for those of you, and there should always be at least a few. At least a few what? At least a few of you who are unfamiliar with the greeting words, Assalamu alaikum. Why should there always be at least a few of you who are unfamiliar with those words, either viewing the live broadcast or sitting in the temple? It is because there are so many of us who are familiar.
Right.
There are too many of us who are familiar. In order for there to be less than many, let alone a few, but less than many who are viewing or attending that are not familiar with those words. Why? Because those of us who are familiar with Assalamu alaikum should be inviting people to attend, whether in person or by live broadcast. We should be sharing the video.
Right.
We should be liking the video. We should be commenting on the video. Why? Because by liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, it helps to get the message out.
Right.
It is the responsibility, and it will be held against you by God himself.
That's right.
It is the responsibility of those who know to share what they know
Yes,
with
sir.
those who don't know.
Yes, sir.
Everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. So for that few who are not familiar with those words, hopefully many who are not familiar with those words, you are familiar with the white man's poison book that he calls the Holy Bible.
That's right.
Talk black to me. You are familiar with the white man's poison book
Right.
that he calls the Holy Bible. And because he calls this poison book the Holy Bible, millions upon millions upon millions of our people in the hells of North America and throughout the earth believe that this book is a holy book and contains all the word of Almighty God.
Right.
Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
These words, Assalamu alaikum, are in this book.
Teach.
Now we the Muslims, though you have been made to believe, we don't believe in the Bible.
Come on.
This is a lie.
Go ahead.
It is one of the many lies that you hold in your heart and in your mind as the truth.
Right.
Talk black to me.
That's right.
Many of you believe that the Muslims don't believe in the Bible because the Muslims, our book of scripture, is the Holy Quran.
Yes, sir.
The reason it makes no sense for you to believe that Muslims don't believe in the Bible because we have a Quran is because our Quran teaches of the Bible.
Right.
I mean, really?
Yes, sir.
The Holy Quran speaks of the Bible. It speaks of the Bible in terms of the truth that is in the Bible.
That's right.
And because the Holy Quran bears witness to the truth that is in the Bible and claims for itself that it is a guardian, a protector, a preserver of the truth that's in the Bible, and that it is a distinguisher between that truth that is in the Bible and the falsehood that the white race has added to that truth that is in the Bible.
Go ahead.
We, the Muslims who follow the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Did I mention any other Muslim leader?
No, sir.
When I say we, the Muslims who follow the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and you don't hear me mention any other Muslim leader, please do yourself and me a favor and stop thinking, if you are thinking, that that was just a coincidence. I didn't mention anybody else because we don't follow anybody else. There is nobody else who is the leader of the nation of Islam other than Elijah Muhammad. You say, but didn't Elijah Muhammad die in 1975? I don't give a damn if Elijah Muhammad died in 1975. Elijah Muhammad is the leader of the nation of Islam. You don't say to Christians, when they say they're with Jesus, you don't say to Christians, well, didn't Jesus die 2,000 years ago? You can accept that Christians follow Jesus 2,000 years after the death and so-called resurrection of Jesus. I don't see you asking Jews who follow Moses. I don't see you asking them, well, didn't Moses die thousands of years ago? If you can accept that Jews, that their leader is Moses, if you can accept that for Christians, their leader is Jesus, if you can accept for most of the Islamic world, you don't ask Muslims who are orthodox by persuasion. You don't ask them when they say they're with Muhammad, they follow Muhammad, peace be upon him. You don't say, well, didn't Muhammad die 1,400 years ago? You have enough sense not to ask a Muslim from the East or who follows the Muslims in the East.
Come on.
You have enough sense not to ask them, well, is it Muhammad dead? Yeah, didn't he die 1,400 years ago? You don't ask Christians about Jesus. You don't ask Jews about Moses. You don't ask Orthodox Muslims about Muhammad. But when it comes to the nation of Islam,
Right.
when we tell you Elijah Muhammad is the leader of the nation of Islam, here you come with that stupid question, didn't Elijah Muhammad die in 1975? Nigga, didn't you die in 1555?
Oh. ahead. Teach.
I don't give a damn what Elijah Muhammad did or didn't do in 1975. Elijah Muhammad is the leader of the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir. That's right, bro.
Now, if we weren't so confused today
Come on, teach.
about all things Elijah,
Come on.
I could have just made the point that I was making without going into that tangent
Go ahead.
or off on that tangent.
Go ahead.
The point that I was trying to make is because our Holy Quran references the Bible and the truth that's in the Bible
Come on.
and says that it is a guardian
Mm-hmm.
of that truth
Right.
that's in the Bible and that it distinguishes that truth that's in the Bible from the falsehood the white man has added to the Bible,
Go ahead. Teach.
making the Bible a poison book.
Yes, sir.
Come on, are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Just like water is good, arsenic is not good. When you add arsenic to the water that is good, the water becomes what? Poison.
That's right. Come on.
Are you attacking water by saying it's poison because it has arsenic in it? The problem ain't the water.
Come on.
The problem is the arsenic added to the water.
That's right.
Are you listening to
Yes,
me?
sir. Teach.
The problem ain't the Bible.
Mm.
The problem is the beast.
Come on. Come on. That's right.
Who is the beast?
Go ahead.
The goddamn white man is the beast.
That's right.
Revelations calls the white man a beast.
Take that plane, brother.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
No, they not all right. Y'all all right because you don't mind me saying the white man is the beast. Y'all all right because you don't mind me calling him the goddamn white man.
Teach.
Even though the Quran clearly says that, it just doesn't use those exact words.
That's right. Come on, brother.
Talk back to me. The problem is not the Bible. The problem is the poison in the form of the falsehood that the white man has added to the Bible.
That's right.
So when we point that out, you as a Christian get in your feelings. He talking about my Bible.
Mm.
No, I'm talking about your beast.
That's right.
I'm talking about your beloved white man.
Come on.
The problem is not the Bible. The problem is the beast.
Go ahead. Come on.
The problem is not the crack. The problem is the cracker.
Go ahead. Plane.
Talk black to me. So because of what this Quran says, we the Muslims who follow the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, we point this out to you in the paper that we try to sell to you.
Come on.
And you say, no, you don't want the paper because you don't associate that paper with God. You don't associate that paper with Jesus.
That's right.
You don't associate that paper with church. Well, what about the New York Times?
Come on.
What about the Atlanta Journal-Constitution?
Right.
What about the Los Angeles Times? Talk black to me. What about the Chicago Tribune?
Come on.
What about the Detroit Free Press? What about all the white man newspapers? Now, some newspapers are white, some newspapers are not. But what about all the newspapers that you will buy? Are they associated with God? If you a Jehovah's Witness and you buy a watchtower because that's associated with God in your mind.
Come on.
But what about the white man's daily newspapers? Whatever those newspapers are. You'll buy those even if you just spend a little money online to be able to read it on the computer. You'll spend money on those. Those ain't God's newspapers.
That's right.
Them ain't Jesus' newspapers.
That's right.
Talk back to me. Everybody still all right?
Yes, sir.
So when you see a Muslim on the corner, even in 2025, you have so many black brothers and sisters, mainly sisters, so many black brothers and sisters who think you so Jesus abide that you shouldn't buy that newspaper. Black news and information.
Right.
Black education and information. And you're missing out on it because you have this crazy idea in your mind about the Muslim.
Go ahead.
Talk black to me. The Muslims are something that you should shun. The Muslims are something that you should stay away from. The Muslims are something you shouldn't support.
That's how they think. Yes, sir.
But you support the enemy
Think over this.
that is oppressing you every day. You finance with your money the oppression of your people.
That's what they do.
Talk black to me. So when we try to sell you the newspaper, you say, no, I'm all right. No.
Huh.
We start walking towards your car, it could be 197 degrees. Your damn car is melting. Talk black to me. Before we go past your car, we got to shake our shoes off because our shoes are wet from your car melting. And the windows are down and you roll the window up.
Sweat.
Because you don't even want us to ask you to buy the paper.
Come on. See.
This is how silly our people are.
Yes, sir.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Well, on the back of that newspaper, it says, we believe in the truth of the Bible.
Yes, sir.
But we believe it has been tampered with.
Yes, sir.
And therefore, meaning once you reach the conclusion that the Bible has been tampered with,
Yes, sir.
you can't just go on with the Bible as if nothing is wrong.
Come on. Right.
You can't be practicing and preaching a religion based on the scriptures of a Bible that falsehood has been added to.
Come on. Teach.
Because we believe it has been tampered with.
That's right.
Therefore, we believe it must be reinterpreted.
That's right, brother.
We need a new interpretation of the Bible as black people.
Go ahead.
Because the interpretation of the Bible we presently have from white people is an interpretation that serves white people, but it doesn't serve us.
Come on.
Are you listening
Yes,
to me?
sir. Teach.
If the interpretation of the Bible that you presently have has you going in the white man's names, although you a black man,
Come on. Teach.
has you in the white man's culture, although you're a black man,
Right.
has you in the white man's language, though you are a black man.
Yes, sir.
Talk black to me. Has you under the rule of a white people instead of your own people,
Come on.
though you are a black man.
Come on. Teach.
Then that interpretation is an interpretation that benefits the white man at the expense of the black man.
Come on.
You need a new interpretation
That's
of the
right.
Bible.
Right. Come on. Teach.
The current interpretation of the Bible has the white man running Africa and running Africans.
Come on. Teach
The
on.
current interpretation of the Bible has Africa as a neo-colony. Neo meaning new.
Yes, sir.
Meaning that the colonialism that was supposed to have gone away
Right.
decades ago, beginning in the 1950s.
Right.
In the late 1800s, the white man colonized the whole of Africa. The white man of Europe split up Africa.
Right.
I wonder if anybody's paying any attention.
Come on, brother.
You know, in the year 2025,
Yes, sir.
we don't pay a whole lot of attention.
Yeah.
But for the few who might pay attention,
Right.
in the late 1800s, the British the French,
Right.
the Belgian, the German, the Spanish, the Portuguese,
Right.
various European countries.
Mm.
Listen to me. Various European countries got together in Berlin, Germany. It was called the Berlin Conference.
Mm. Yes, sir.
And they decided amongst themselves, we had nothing to do with it.
Right.
Africa was our land, but we had nothing to do with it. I'm not talking about those of us in America.
Right.
I'm talking about our people in Africa.
Right.
Nothing to do with it.
No, see, we-
White folks in Germany discussing how much of Africa each of them was going to have.
Wow.
You act like the Bible had nothing to do with that.
Go ahead.
This is what Negroes act like. You act like the Bible had nothing to do with that.
Mm.
It is the white man's Christian religion that is absolutely the root. It is the foundation, the ideological foundation of the colonization of Africa by the white race of Europe. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Teach.
So the French said, well, this is what we're going to take.
Right.
And the Germans said, well, we're going to take this.
Right.
And the British said, we're going to take that.
Right.
And the Belgians said, we're going to take this.
Come on.
The Spanish, the Portuguese, whoever, they said, well, we're going to take this.
Right.
In Africa, I promise you, this ain't no Muslim stuff. This is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Africa, with this book as an ideological foundation, meaning the ideas, the thoughts in the head of the white man. This book as an ideological foundation. The white race colonized, divided up Africa for themselves.
That's right, brother.
So when we say this book needs to be reinterpreted,
Yes, sir.
what are you getting in your feelings about and saying, no, 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 I'm with Jesus, honey?
Mm.
Talk black to me.
Right.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
If Jesus said that he came that you might have life and more abundantly, meaning a greater abundance of life than you had before Jesus,
Yes, sir.
why did the white man get life and more abundance of life
Good.
when all you got was slavery, suffering, and death?
That's right.
Talk black to me. Africa was independent before this Bible.
That's right.
Africa has not been independent since this Bible.
Come on.
So we need a new interpretation of the Bible.
Come on.
Why? So that mankind, quote unquote, will not be snared by the falsehood that has been added to it.
Come on.
What white man do you know who has been snared by the falsehood that's been added to the Bible? Nobody listens.
Right. What?
The white race has not been snared, trapped, tricked, hoodwinked, bamboozled. The white race has not been adversely affected by the interpretation, which is false, that we now have of the Bible.
Come on. Teach.
They have benefited tremendously.
False interpretation.
So when we say, following our Holy Quran and the guide to understanding in the person of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad,
That's right.
when we say that it must be reinterpreted, what's the problem? When we say so that mankind will not be snared by the falsehood that has been added to it, we're not talking about so the white man won't be tricked.
Good point.
The white man ain't been tricked.
Come on, teach.
The white man has Europe. The white man has North America.
Come on.
The white man has South America. The white man has Asia. The white man has Australia. The white man has the world. You know that song, he got the whole world in his hands. You know that got to be a white man, because Negroes ain't got the whole nothing in their hands. Come on now.
Right, brother. Teach. Yes, sir.
So what are we going to church hollering about Jesus? Yes, Lord.
Right.
Praise Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. What in the world are we celebrating in the black church? The white man has everything. The white man even has you. You couldn't even set up your church without going to the white man to get permission.
That's right, sir. That's right.
Talk black to me. You wouldn't even have a Bible if the white man didn't provide you with one.
That's right.
You wouldn't have anything to have a church if it wasn't for the white man providing you with all the things necessary to have a church. So what are you hollering about in the name of Jesus? No, we need a new interpretation of this Bible.
Go ahead.
An interpretation that benefits us. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
We're not looking for an interpretation of the Bible that will be at the expense of anybody else, but we no longer will accept an interpretation of the Bible that is for somebody else at the expense of us.
Go ahead.
Talk black to me. All right. So I said that when you read your Bible, the words Assalamu alaikum are in the Bible. You say, well, I've never heard or read Assalamu alaikum in the Bible. Yes, you did. You just didn't read it in Arabic.
Come on.
You would expect the words Assalamu alaikum to be in the Holy Quran, right?
That's right.
Well, they are there. And in this particular translation of the Holy Quran, they're there in Arabic. But I've never read the words Assalamu alaikum in Arabic in the Holy Quran. Why? Because I don't speak Arabic and I can't read Arabic. But Assalamu alaikum is in the Holy Quran also in English.
Go ahead.
So when I read the Holy Quran and I read where it says in English, peace be unto you, I know that what those words mean in Arabic is Assalamu alaikum.
Go ahead.
When you read the Bible, it's in the Bible, in the words, peace be unto you.
Come on.
But Assalamu alaikum has been translated from Arabic into English, and that's the language we read. So when we read it, we don't know what it says in our language. Because the white man robbed us of our language.
That's right.
If you study the history of slavery, you will find that many of our people that were brought here as slaves were Muslims. Why were so many of our people that were brought here as slaves Muslims? Because many of our people, most of our people in the beginning that were brought here as slaves were brought here from the west coast of Africa, and West Africa was part of the Islamic world. It doesn't mean every single African was a Muslim. What it means is that Islam was the dominant religion of West Africa. You say, no, it was traditional African spirituality, whatever you call it. There was no religion in West Africa when we were brought here that was more populous than the religion of Islam.
Go ahead.
When you talk about traditional African religions,
Talk about Islam.
You're talking about all kinds of different religions. What do you mean all kinds of different religions? When you talk about African spirituality, you can't count the number of spiritual systems, for lack of a better term. You got one tribe and they have their beliefs. You have another tribe and they have their beliefs. You have another tribe and they have their beliefs. There was no tribe, no belief system that was more dominant than Islam in West Africa when they brought our fathers here to be made their slaves.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, brother.
Y'all still all right?
Yes, sir.
Too basic? Too fundamental?
Keep teaching, brother.
I gotta keep teaching.
Tell it, brother.
So since we were robbed of our language, our God, our religion, even our names and our culture, the white man wouldn't even let us live the way we lived. He forced his ways on us. We had certain foods we ate. The white man changed our diet. That's why in English lesson C1 for you Muslims it says he taught us to eat the wrong foods.
Wrong food.
The white man changed our diet.
Come on now.
We couldn't even eat like we used to eat.
Wow.
He denied us education.
Yes, sir.
We were not allowed to read. We were not allowed to write. We were not allowed to learn, and this went on for 300 years. We were robbed. And what else were we? We were spoiled. We are a people robbed and spoiled. All right. We're talking about the 4th of July, just in case you didn't know.
That's right.
Okay. So in Genesis 43 and 23, it says, peace be unto you. In St. Luke 24 and 36, it says, peace be unto you. In St. John 20 and verse 19, it says, peace be unto you. In St. John chapter 20, verse 21, it says, peace be unto you. And there are various other places throughout the Holy Bible where that particular greeting is used. Sometimes it may say grace be unto you. Sometimes it may say peace and grace be unto you. Sometimes it will say grace and peace be unto you. But the greeting is basically the same. But in English, once you translate it back into the language that the white man translated it from, it becomes either Assalamu alaikum in Arabic, Assalamu alaikum in Hebrew, or Assalamu alaikum in Aramaic. Is everybody still all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, I know I always teach a long time on Assalamu alaikum.
Take your time, brother.
Our subject today is the 4th of July. The 4th of July is a very, very important date. Regardless to what year, the 4th of July since 1776 is an extremely important date in white American history. It's even a very important date in world history, but we just gonna deal with white America.
Come on.
Y'all listening?
Yes, sir.
The 4th of July is not just a day for those white people who are in the know to just go out and barbecue some hamburgers and some hot dogs and some steaks and some chicken and some spare ribs. But it's a holiday, meaning holy day.
Go ahead.
Are you listening to me?
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead.
For the white man of America, the 4th of July is an extremely important date in history.
That's right.
Why is it an important date in history? We're going to get into that for a few minutes. What you don't know also is that the 4th of July, since the year 1930, has been an extremely important date for the black man in America.
That's correct.
We don't know that. We don't even want to know that.
Wow.
But the 4th of July literally means for the black man in America the same thing that it means for the white man of America with a twist.
Go ahead.
And we're going to talk about the twist in a few minutes. Now let me put my glasses on, my old eyes, so I can read.
Talk about the twist.
Twist.
Shelby Checker twist.
In Congress. Anybody listen?
Yes, sir.
In Congress. In Congress. What do you mean in Congress? What Congress is this talking about? It's talking about the Continental Congress.
Yes, sir.
The only Congress we know is the one that's mentioned on the news every so often on the white man's television. But in America in 1776, there was a Continental Congress put together by members of the 13 colonies of Great Britain. You'll have to excuse me for smirking and snickering, but when you're doing a whole lot of teaching, not so much preaching, but teaching, you're dealing with a whole lot of information, it always makes me laugh because I wonder how it's being received. All right. So you had 13 colonies in America. Now, what is a colony? A colony is when one country has its members or somebody that's not a member of their country, but they colonize, meaning they own and rule the land that a particular people, whether their own or some other people, are living on.
Yes, sir.
Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir. That's right.
So if I'm England and I have a colony in the Western Hemisphere and I call that colony Virginia, I even named the land after one of my white chicks,
Go ahead.
Virginia. So I call it Virginia, the colony of Virginia, and my people who live there and anybody else who live there, they're under my rule as England. Y'all listen.
Yes, sir.
I have another colony, and I call that colony Pennsylvania.
Come on.
I have 11 other colonies, and I call them by various names. One of them I say is New Jersey.
Come on.
Why? Because I, England, have a place called Jersey.
The old Jersey.
So I'm calling another place that I'm running,
Yes, sir.
I'm ruling, a New Jersey.
Go ahead.
Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
I have another colony that I call New England. Y'all listening?
Yes, sir.
That's really an area, a region
Yes, sir.
called New England. Those of you who love football, you know the Patriots. But it's more than just, let me put it this way. You have Vermont,
Yes, sir.
New Hampshire.
Yes, sir.
Why New Hampshire? Because there's a place in England called Hampshire.
That's right.
So this place is called New Hampshire. I have a place in England called York. So I'm going to have a colony called New York.
Okay.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to call two colonies after one of my white chicks, Carolina. One is going to be north, one is going to be south. I'm going to name another colony after my King George, but I'm going to call it Georgia. Everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
So 13 colonies decided that they were going to declare something. They were going to make an announcement. They were going to make a declaration. And it's called the Declaration of Independence. So they formed this Continental Congress, and then in this Continental Congress, they said these words in Congress. July 4, 1776, the unanimous. Did anybody disagree with it?
No, sir. It's unanimous.
That's why they say it's unanimous.
Yes, sir.
Everybody down with this. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. They weren't even states yet. But they were declaring that they are going to be states. When in the course, listen up now, when in the course of human events, there are various events that take place among human beings, but they're making a declaration about a particular time when events are taking place among human beings. Well, when? When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary. What becomes necessary? Let's talk about it. It becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another. So,
Come on.
the unanimous declaration of these white folks who were colonies of England, when they got together in their Continental Congress, they started talking about human events, things that take place among people.
Go ahead.
And they said, when things are happening among people, there is a time when it becomes necessary for one people to separate from another people.
Wow.
Politically.
Wow.
Listen now. And to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them. Who peeped what I just said?
Nature's God.
Nature's what?
God.
God. The white man is declaring independence, but he using God as the ideological foundation. There is absolutely nothing non-religious. There is absolutely nothing that is separate from God.
Right.
In this white man's mind,
Come on.
when it comes to this white man's power. All right. Nature's God, it says, the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature. Where does nature come from?
God.
God. And the laws of nature's God entitle them.
Wow.
This is what makes me so disgusted with black people, brother. Hear white people talking about what the laws of nature entitle them. Here's white people talking about what the laws of God entitle them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But we as black people, we're not talking about what the laws of nature or nature's God entitle us.
Right.
And the white man don't like for us to talk about what nature and nature's God entitles us. Because the white man was robbing us of what the laws of nature entitled us.
Come on.
The white man was robbing us of what the laws of nature's God entitled us.
That's right.
All right. This cracker is such a hypocrite.
Man.
He's talking about what God entitles people. While he's denying that to black people.
Come on now.
And we so silly, we don't even challenge the white man on it.
Right. Yes, sir.
All right. So when this happens,
Yes, sir.
when what happens? When it becomes necessary for one people to separate from another people,
Yes, sir.
and assume a separate and equal status with all other people.
Yes, sir.
When that happens, and remember, this particular separate and equal status, nature entitles that to you.
Right.
God entitles that to you.
Yes, sir.
Well, when this happens, a decent respect, the white man says, to the opinions of mankind. Meaning, you got to respect the opinions of other people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. And because you have to respect the opinions of other people, that's what a decent respect to the opinions of mankind means. It requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation.
Wow.
Meaning, when in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to separate from another people and to assume, to take for themselves, take it.
Yes, sir.
Not ask, take it.
Come on.
Say, look, this is what we're doing. Not can we do this? Hell no. Look, this is what we're doing. This is what we about to do.
Come on. As you may.
We are going to assume for ourselves what the law of nature entitles us.
Yes, sir.
We are going to assume for ourselves what the laws of God entitle us. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. But the white man is saying when it becomes necessary to do this, you should, out of respect for what other people are going to be thinking about, because it's a very controversial move that you're about to make. You should declare out of respect, you should let folk know why you making the move that you're making. In other words, justify your position to other people. Why? Because other people are used to you being connected to the people you are declaring you are going to separate from. Other people are not used to the idea of you being a separate, independent people.
Come on.
They have always known you as a part of this particular people. Are you listening to me? So when you want to change the game, you need to let the players know why you changing the game. All right, so now they're going to tell you why. We hold these truths. Is truths singular or more than singular, plural? We hold, it doesn't say we hold this truth, but we hold these truths to be self-evident. All right, we're talking about the truth now, right? And we're talking about truth that is so obvious, it shouldn't even need to be explained. It's self-evident. It's obvious. So there are several truths that the white man is saying that he holds to be obvious. Shouldn't even have to be discussed or debated. I hope y'all following me. Now the Bible, remember I'm connecting all of this to the Bible. The Bible says that the truth will make you free. Right or wrong?
That's right.
Okay. White man talking about the truth. So we talking about God, we talking about truth. We talking about nature, we talking about truth. And we talking about how nature, God, and truth are so obvious, it's self-evident. Well, what is it? Okay, let's talk about it. That all men are created equal. Where the hell does the white man get supremacy from?
Wow.
I thought that the self-evident truth
All men.
was that all men are created equal. Here come the white man talking about the white man is superior.
Wow.
I thought all men were created equal. Here come the dumb, deaf, dumb, and blind, the poor, I should say, deaf, dumb, and blind black man believing that the white man is better than the black man.
Wow.
But you grilling hot dogs and hamburgers and spare ribs on the grill to celebrate the 4th of July. A holiday that's based on the self-evident truth, according to white folk, that all men are created equal.
Go ahead. Teach.
Then why aren't you equal with the white man?
Teach.
Talk black to me. Why are you not equal with the white man? If all men are created equal, why in the hell do we not enjoy equality with the white man? Let's go. That they are endowed by their creator. Here come God again.
Come on now.
Here come God again.
Yes, sir.
That all men are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights.
Yes, sir.
Meaning these are rights that God gives you, that nobody can take away from you.
Can't be violated.
Talk black to me.
Come on. Teach.
These are your God-given rights.
Teach.
Damn white folk. These are God-given rights. All right.
Go ahead.
That among these what? Among these rights,
Right.
our life. Did the white man take our life?
Yes, sir. Still doing.
That among these are life, liberty. Did the white man take our freedom?
Yes, sir. Still
Oh, okay. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Oh, man.
Do we have a difficult time as black people achieving happiness?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Why? Because our life is in peril. It's either outright taken or in peril.
Yes, sir.
Our freedom is either outright taken or hindered.
Go ahead. Teach.
Our ability to achieve our pursuit of happiness is interfered with. Right or wrong?
That's right.
This is what the white man is saying about himself in 1776. Okay. Then the white man goes on to say that to secure these rights, to what?
Secure these rights.
To secure these rights, to make sure these rights are not interfered with.
That's right.
To secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. Why does the white man say governments are instituted among men? Does America have a government?
Yes, sir.
Does Canada have a government?
Yes, sir.
Does England have a government?
Yes, sir.
Does France have a government?
Yes, sir.
Do Spain and Portugal have governments?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wait a minute. According to the white man of America, the reason all men who have a government in the first place is to secure the God-given rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Come on.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go. That's what government is for. Now, how many black people believe that the government of America was instituted to secure the rights of black people of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? I wish a nigger would raise their hand. I wish. And I wish I could chop it off if it was raised. Now, these governments that are instituted among men, it says, derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. It doesn't say deriving their powers. It says deriving their just powers. You can exercise your power in an unjust manner. But the just powers of these governments is derived from the consent of the governed. Do we as black people consent to be governed by white people? No. We are forced by white people to accept them governing us.
That's right.
All right. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, meaning there are times when a government that is supposed to secure the rights that God gave the people they govern, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. Whenever a government, there are times that a government becomes destructive of those rights, meaning it interferes with the right of the people for life, for liberty, for the pursuit of happiness. Let's go. Whenever this happens, it says, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to effect their safety and happiness. Are y'all still listening?
Yes, sir.
Well, no, that's you still listening. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. Prudence, indeed. Well, what do you mean, prudence? I could look up the definition of prudence, but what it means is if you're going to make the best decision, governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. This is what it's saying. When a people are governed by either their people or even any other people, when you have a government of people, it shouldn't be changed for light reasons. Well, I don't like the way, what's a light and a transient reason? I don't like the way people wear their hair. I know that's stupid, but I can't think of anything less stupid. don't like the way the people wear their hair in this country. I want to form my own country where we wear our hair different. That's stupid. That's not prudence. I know that's not the best example, but will you give me a damn break? I'm just trying to get through this lecture. Prudence indeed, the white man says, dictates that governments long established, meaning once a government has been going for a long time, you don't change it. You don't mess with that for just a trivial reason. All right. And accordingly, all experience has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer. Because it's the path of least resistance to allow someone who has been governing you to continue to govern you. Because of that, people are willing to suffer under a government, while evil is sufferable, meaning make the best of a bad situation. Okay. They're more willing to do this than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. You used to being governed by this particular government that is destructive of the rights that God gives you. You'd rather just make the best of that bad situation, as long as you're able to take it. All right. That's what the Declaration of Independence says. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism. Meaning, when the government abuses you so much and for so long of a period of time that it becomes obvious that it is by that government's design to just mess all over you. It is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies. Now, the colonies are saying to the rest of Europe, because they don't want the rest of Europe to view them as a bunch of rebellious ne'er-do-wells. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
They don't want France, Portugal, Spain, Germany, all these other countries of Europe to look at these English people who are from England as being a bunch of lawless, rebellious rebels against their people in England. They're trying to justify their situation. They want to make these other European nations understand where they're coming from and to support the move that they're making. So they're saying, look, we the colonies, we've been catching hell from England for a long time. All right. And the type of hell that we've been catching for a long time, we just explained to you in our declaration. A long train of abuses, usurpations, always ending up the same way, a design to reduce us under despotism. All right. And such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present king of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. Y'all still with me?
Yes, sir.
I wonder if you really are. Now they start listing all the foul-ish that England has been doing to them. This is for France. This is for Germany. This is for Spain. This is for Portugal. This is for all these other countries in Europe to look at what they're saying and say, oh, okay, I understand. All right, I'm with y'all. Because they don't want these other countries to look at England and be like, oh, you having a problem with your people? We got your back. All right. I'm only going to read a few of them. And I'm not reading the few that I am reading in order for you to be particularly interested in it. I just want to make a point. The first thing they say about the king is he has refused to assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. They're saying that the King of England has refused to obey the simplest and most basic laws that would make life worth living, that would make life happy to be lived. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Then they say he has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance. Now, to a Negro who's not up on game, those words that I just read don't mean nothing. You listening? Let me translate this into nigger. There is an anti-lynching bill. Anybody hear what I just said? There is an anti-lynching bill. I don't think it's been passed yet, but if it has, so what? There's an anti-lynching bill that the white man wouldn't pass for 1,000 years. I don't mean an actual 1,000, I'm being sarcastic. 100 years of lynching followed the abolition of slavery. And at some point during those 100 years, an anti-lynching bill was proposed for Congress and the Senate to pass up to the president and have it signed into legislation. And up to a very few years ago, that bill hadn't been passed yet. Y'all listening to me? Okay. Now, is that a necessary law for us? Yeah. Why would we not want lynching to be illegal? Is it a good law, a wholesome law that would be good for us as black people? Yes. And has white America refused to pass legislation like that? Yes. Talk black to me. Okay. When George Floyd was killed, there was legislation proposed. Do you know that legislation hasn't been signed into law as of yet? They haven't passed the bill yet, 5 years after it was proposed. It's good, it's wholesome, it's necessary, but yet the government of America refuses to pass it. Your beloved Joe Biden, sleepy Joe Biden, did not deliver on that George Floyd bill. Talk black to me. This is the type of crap that the colonies were accusing King George, I believe. I don't know what cracker it was at the particular time. But this is what they were saying: the King of England wouldn't pass laws like that. All right. Because of police brutality against us as black people in America, under Barack Obama, the Justice Department investigated accusations of various police departments of having a pattern of practice of brutality and inequity insofar as law enforcement when it comes to black people. So the Justice Department found certain police departments guilty of having a pattern and a practice of abusing black people. So they imposed what is called consent decrees on these police departments. Donald Trump has come, and Donald Trump has reversed that.
Wow.
Donald Trump has reversed that. So these police departments that were under consent decrees is all good now. Y'all listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There are other laws that apply to affirmative action. Ever since Reagan, you have had affirmative action, maybe before him, but definitely since Reagan, you have had affirmative action being dismantled. Y'all listening to me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
In 2025, it's called diversity, equity, and inclusion, and it's being attacked and destroyed. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
This is an example of a government not allowing laws that are very important to be passed. Okay. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance. All laws that deal with something good for the black man, they get held up in Congress or the Senate. Or if they get to the president vetoes it. And they don't have a supermajority to override the president's veto. Talk black to me. Unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. All right. He has refused to pass other laws. What are they complaining about in the colony so far, Brother Gerard asks? The refusal of their leadership to pass laws for their benefit. Tell me we as black people don't have the same problem with these crackers in America. He has refused to pass laws for the accommodation of large districts of people, unless those people would relinquish the right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. Here's the bottom line. According to the white people who said they want to separate from England, the first 2 or 3 things they're talking about is the laws that they are pushing for England to pass that will benefit them, but England won't pass them. Talk black to me. Here we are as black people in the civil rights movement begging the government of America to pass laws to stop white people from abusing us, and they hold these laws up. They won't let these laws get passed. Even when we have somebody in the White House that's supposed to be a friend of black people, he can't get Congress and the Senate to pass the laws that we need passed in our minds, that is, in order to improve our lives under this government. Okay. Now, after enumerating so many different complaints, they say at the end, we therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, you bringing God into it again, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. This ain't the type of teaching that's interesting. I don't give a damn. This is the type of teaching that's educational and informative.
Go ahead. Teach.
And it's also the type of teaching that makes so plain the truth that when you evince a disinterest in it, and when the consequences come to bite you and you try to alibi your way, I didn't know. Hell no, Negro. When an attempt was being made to put you up on game, you didn't want to hear it. So the hell with you. Die. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now tell me, if you were even patient enough to follow me this long, tell me what the difference is between the white man's declaration, the qualitative difference between the white man's Declaration of Independence and what it says on our paper that you won't buy. What the Muslims want. Point number 4. We want our people in America whose parents or grandparents were descendants from what? Slaves. Slaves. To be allowed to establish a separate state or territory of their own, either on this continent or elsewhere. We don't give a damn where. But we want a separate state or territory. So we are saying that in the course of human events, it has become necessary for us as black people, ties that have bound us to white people. Hello? That's what we're saying. What's the problem? How you gonna bake some macaroni and cheese to have with your barbecue spare their situation, then when the Muslims are saying this about our situation, you act like we crazy. Talk back to me.
That's what they do.
When in the course of human events, one people enslaves another people. You telling me that's not a situation where that people enslaved needs to dissolve the political ties that bind them to the people who are enslaving them? All right, here we go. We believe that our former slave masters are obligated to provide such land and that the area must be fertile and minerally rich. We believe that our former slave masters are obligated to maintain and supply our needs in this separate territory for the next 20 to 25 years until we are able to produce and supply our own needs. Since. Now remember, I started reading that long list of complaints that the colonies had to justify separating from England. Now, on our paper, we listing why we want to be separate. Since we cannot get along with them in peace and equality, have we as black people, since we've been here, ever gotten along with the white people that brought us here in peace and equality?
No, sir.
Do we get along with the white man right now in 2025 in peace and equality?
No, sir.
All right then. Well, since we haven't and since we don't, which means we can't,
That's right.
after giving them 400 years of our sweat and blood, and receiving in return some of the worst treatment human beings have experienced: lynching, burning, castrating, enslaving, oppressing, raping, robbing, spoiling. 400 years we've been working for these devils. 400 years we've been sweating and bleeding for these devils.
Right.
And after 400 years of blood, sweat, tears, and getting nothing in return but the total inability to get along with these devils in peace and equality.
Right.
We believe our contributions to this land and the suffering forced upon us by white America justifies our demand for complete separation in a state or territory of our own. How can you read the Declaration of Independence and feel that the declarers were justified, and then read or listen to me read point number 4 of what the Muslims want? How can you do that and not see that we are not only equally justified to want separation from America, but we are even more justified to want separation from America?
That's right.
Let's go back to the paper again. Now, because of what I read, of what the Muslims want, point number 4, I'm now going to read point number 12 of what the Muslims believe. We believe that Allah, now when we say Allah, who are we referring to?
God.
God. Okay. God is all through that Declaration of Independence, isn't he?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, God is all in our declaration too.
Come on.
We believe that Allah, God, appeared in the person
Yes, sir.
of Master W. Farad Muhammad when? July 1930. July what 1930? July 4th, 1930. The long-awaited Messiah of the Christians and the Mahdi of the Muslims. We believe further and lastly that Allah is God, and besides him there is no God, and he will bring about. Who will bring about?
God.
God will bring about a universal what?
Government.
Government. What kind of government? Of peace.
And righteousness.
What kind of government of peace? Wherein we all can live in peace together.
Yes, sir.
Ain't nobody talking about no ebony and ivory. Y'all listening?
Yes,
None of
sir.
that. None of that, Brother Gerard asks. It does matter if you're black or white. I don't know what the hell Mike was talking about. Mike talking about if you want to be my lover, it don't matter if you're black or white. Well, for those of us with half a damn brain, if you want to be our lover, you better be black instead of white. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
So, July 4th, since 1930, upon the coming of Master Wallace Farad Muhammad, July 4th, 1930 has meant the same thing to us that it meant to white people since 1776. When Master Farad Muhammad made his presence known among us, he declared us an independent nation. That's why we have a flag. He declared us an independent black nation. Now, when the white man declared his independence, he didn't have it. That's why in the Declaration of Independence, it talks about intentions. When Allah declared our independence from the white man, we didn't have it. We still don't have it today. But he was declaring an intention for the black man in America who has been the slave servant of the white man of America for 400 plus years. An intention to separate us from the white man and to make of us an independent black nation. Are y'all listening to me?
Yes, sir.
And when we talk about nationhood, the white man refers to that as black nationalism. And when you hear the term black nationalism, depending on who you are, you get turned off by that term. You envision these radical, crazy black people who want to do radical, crazy black things to white people, and you think it's something you should shun. You should stay away from. But wait a minute. What is wrong with us as black people declaring an intention to have a nation of our own, separate from white people? Due to the fact that we cannot get along with white people in peace and inequality. We are the victims of a long train of abuses and usurpations which evince a design to keep us reduced to a state of absolute tyranny.
Right.
We gotta stop feeling as though we just gonna make the best of what our black life is in white America. We gotta stop that. We don't need niggas like, what's my man name? Booker T. Washington? Is he the one that came up with the Atlanta Compromise? Is that him, Brother Gerard X?
Now, that's a great question, Brother Nelson.
We don't need niggas like that.
The Atlanta Compromise?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Look it up. The Atlanta Compromise is what we at Temple 15 deal with in the A every damn day.
That's right.
You Atlanta Compromise niggas, you get on my damn nerves. Your radio personalities, your mayors, your council persons, your damn state legislators,
Yes, sir.
all the black people, your business leadership, your entrepreneurs, your black lawyers, your black every damn thing.
Come on.
Here in this area of Atlanta. You some Atlanta compromised niggas. And you
right.
get on my damn nerves. And you who continue to honor them as leaders, you get on my nerves. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
1895, Booker T. Washington.
It was Booker T. Washington.
Yes, sir.
The Atlanta Compromise. Get the compromise. We can't compromise with the white man. But every big name nigga in Atlanta that you give respect to is an Atlanta compromising nigga for the goddamn white man.
Go ahead.
And that's why the streets are suffering in the way that the streets are suffering.
That's right.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
But damn it, streets, you need to suffer. You ain't here.
Good point.
The hell is wrong with you? Here you got leadership in the person of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad being followed by members of Muhammad's temple number 15, and your behind ain't supporting it. Talk black to me. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
You are not a member of one single black nationalist movement in the ATL. Hello? Black nationalism in the air is something non-existent almost.
That's right, brother.
Yeah.
How are you black in the ATL and you not a nationalist?
Go ahead. Good question.
Because you're a jacktionalist. A jackationalist. You a nigger in Atlanta and you ain't no nationalist, you a damn idiot.
Come on.
Talk black to me. You better get the Jesus hell out my face.
Come on.
You germ-catching, kufi, beard, and pillowcase Muslim niggas, you better get the Prophet Muhammad hell out my face.
Go ahead, brother.
Talk black to me. You goddamn Hebrew Israelites better get your Minnesota Vikings looking idiot selves out my damn face. If you not a black nationalist, shut up. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
I don't care what your religion is. If your religion ain't black nationalist, you can take your God, you can take your prophet, you can take your religion, and you can shove it where the sun don't shine. Especially if you ate a barbecued hot dog or a hamburger on Friday. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Go out in my damn driveway, all these little remnants or pieces of damn fireworks laying in the damn driveway. Niggas shooting off fireworks. For what? The white man's independence? You ain't no nationalist. What you shooting fireworks up in the air for? I gotta watch myself because certain things are trying to jump out my mouth that I don't want to come out. I know I gotta watch out. Niggas make you have to watch out. The religion of Islam, as taught by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, is necessarily and divinely appropriate. It is necessarily militant black nationalist, radical black separatist, and revolutionary pan-Africanist. We're not running around with no Holy Quran, just talking about how wonderful Prophet Muhammad was, and he was wonderful. So, Prophet Muhammad made the Arabs a nation.
That's right.
Prophet Muhammad made the Arabs an empire.
That's right.
Prophet Muhammad didn't leave the Arabs SOL. Prophet Muhammad made the Arabs an eminent, powerful, wealthy, free, independent people. So don't come to me preaching the prophet of some Arabs 1400 years ago and want me to accept your preaching in a way that leaves me in this position under the white man of America. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Prophet Muhammad made the Turks an empire.
Right.
First the Seljuks and then the Ottomans. Prophet Muhammad made the Persians an empire.
Right.
Sassanid. What else? Wait a minute, the Sassanids might have been before Muhammad. But Prophet Muhammad made the Persians an empire.
Right.
Prophet Muhammad made, who else? Prophet Muhammad made Indians an empire. Yeah. Prophet Muhammad made the Mongols an empire. The Mogul Empire. Talk back to me.
Yes, sir, brother.
Prophet Muhammad even made some Africans an empire. The Moorish Empire.
Indeed.
But all of a sudden, when the Quran revealed to Prophet Muhammad hits the black man in America, we just supposed to be the best Americans. Hell no. We supposed to be an empire. We supposed to be a free, independent nation of people.
That's right.
Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. So when we declare our independence in the name of our God and Savior Allah, Master Farad Muhammad, what's the problem? I take you through the white man's declaration, and then I take you through our declaration, show you the same thing, we even have more justification. And this is what really makes it just ridiculous on your part not to accept it. In Liberia, the capital is called Monrovia. Why is it called Monrovia? Because an American president named James Monroe agreed in principle with point number 4 of what the Muslims want. He actually got Congress to appropriate money to take black slaves or former slaves, send them back to Africa to form an independent nation. Are y'all listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Abraham Lincoln, the man that we say freed us from slavery, agreed in principle with the concept of blacks in America having an independent country. Hello? Abraham Lincoln did not want civil rights for black people in America. Abraham Lincoln wanted separation of blacks from America and the establishment of an independent nation of our own.
Right.
This is why, beginning in the 1800s, white people set up a movement, for lack of a better term, called the American Colonization Society. Look it up on Google. The American Colonization Society. And various states in America had branches of it. Are y'all listening?
Yes, sir.
And these branches of of the American Colonization Society preached, they propagandized separation of blacks from America and repatriation to Africa.
Right.
Talk back to me. This is the white man saying, y'all blacks need to separate from us whites, go back to your own land and your own people and be independent. They preached it so that they could convince blacks and whites to support the concept. They raised money for it. Not only did they raise money for it, but they actually organized it to the point that they were able to secure ships and pay for the transport. They had delegations deal with Africans to prepare to receive us. Are you listening to me?
Really?
Yeah. This ain't something Muslims just pulled out of our rectum. Even the white man himself, the few of them that had a damn brain was like, yeah, this is what needs to be done. But you tell a Negro, let's be separate and independent, they act like this is some radical Muslim stuff that y'all just came up with. You are ridiculous. You can go to the State House right now, Brother Darrell.
Yes, sir.
And upstairs, there's a big old picture hanging on the wall of a black man. What is his name? What's the name of that brother, Brother Gerard X?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, found the brother's name.
What is his name?
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Yeah, found it out.
I forgot the brother's name.
Yes, sir.
What is he?
But
He
he was a big name in Georgia.
Yes, sir.
A very big name in Georgia. A black man. Very big name in Georgia. That's why his picture is there at the State House, because he was somebody that was high in Georgia politics.
Exactly.
Y'all listening to me?
Yes, sir.
This man that I'm talking about set up, I forget what he called it, the beginning of it, but it was an immigration society. Not immigration, immigration. Immigration is with an I. Immigration is with an E. He set up a society right here. And he literally arranged for black people to leave here and go back to Africa, to Liberia.
Was it with Marcus?
No, he wasn't. He was before Marcus Garvey. We're talking about back in the 1800s.
Marcus Garvey got it from him then.
So listen now. What is this man's name? I can't think of his name. But bottom line is, here's the redneck cracker of racist redneck Georgia honoring this black man at the State House, who was a black nationalist. He calmed down towards the end of his life. You understand? Because whites wouldn't support it. Enough blacks wouldn't support it. So he ended up, to whatever degree, mellowing out. But he was a militant and radical black nationalist.
Why they didn't kill him?
During Reconstruction, I'll tell you why they might not have killed him, or what the reason might be that they didn't kill him. During Reconstruction, he believed what the civil rights Negro believes. These Atlanta Compromise niggas here, he believed in that. Okay? This was before Booker T. Washington did it, but I'm just saying, the concept, the idea, the mentality, the compromise mentality, he believed that. He thought Reconstruction meant we was going to live happily ever after in America with the white man. We was going to be equal with white folks.
Right.
Because we got a civil rights bill passed back in the 1800s. We got a civil rights bill passed. Black politicians started coming into existence. Y'all listening to me?
Yes, sir.
All kinds of laws were instituted that were supposed, look, 13th, 14th, 15th Amendments, different laws were put together. You had the Union troops here in the South that was here to make sure black people got treated better. All this was going on. Then Reconstruction hit. We had about 10 years or more of Reconstruction, then post-Reconstruction hit. That's what I should have said. Post-Reconstruction hit. And after post-Reconstruction hit, that's when the 100 years of lynching started. That's when Jim Crow started. And the white man started reversing all the political, economic, and social gains that we had begun to enjoy in Reconstruction.
Right.
The 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments wasn't even cold yet. You could still see a little steam coming up off of them. The oven where they were baked was still hot. And here the white man is, quote unquote, putting the niggas, the darkies, back in their place. So this man, whose name I continuously damn forget, he was in politics already. And then he got pissed off at the reverses that the white man was making against everything that put him in his position in the first place. So he started saying to hell with the white man.
Right.
He started teaching on the white man like Malcolm. I promise you I'm not lying. He started teaching on how the black man is better than the white man.
Right.
How the white man is dirty. And he started teaching nationalism.
Henry McNeil Turner.
Henry McNeil Turner. Henry McNeil Turner. Big old picture of him at the State House. Henry McNeil Turner was a militant black nationalist and a radical black separatist. He started out as a civil rights nigger in hopes of being equal with the white man in Reconstruction. And then when the white man flipped the script on Reconstruction, Henry McNeil Turner said to hell with the white, threw both their middle fingers up. Both of them. You couldn't come to the A if he was in the A. You couldn't come to Georgia without going through his middle fingers. And he became an ardent black nationalist to the point where he organized immigration societies to get black people in the South out of America and to Africa in Liberia.
For Marcus Garvey.
Now, Brother Gerard, aren't there things named after him here in Atlanta?
Henry McNeil Turner.
I honestly believe there are some schools or some different things named after Henry McNeil Turner here in Atlanta. And whatever our connection is to those things, we are these Atlanta compromised niggas in spite of the fact of what this man's history was like. The point that I'm making as I close is this. The idea of us separating from the white man and becoming an independent nation as black people is something that is not so far-fetched, so out there, I should say, that you can't unite with us around that idea. Y'all listening to me?
Yes, sir.
So when Master Farad Muhammad said that we ought to become a free and an independent people on the 4th of July while the white man was celebrating his independence. The black man was being given by God his independence.
That's right.
Talk black to me.
Yes, sir.
And so the 4th of July for us means who follow the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, what that day means to us. And remember, some white people invited Frederick Douglass in the 1850s to come and speak at one of their 4th of July celebrations. You know, because Frederick Douglass was a big nigga back in the day.
Right.
So they invited Frederick Douglass to come and speak in honor of the 4th of July. Frederick Douglass has a speech called "What to the Slaves is the 4th of July." Frederick Douglass condemned the government of America. Frederick Douglass condemned the church leaders of America. Frederick Douglass condemned everything about America in that speech. Frederick Douglass was basically saying, what to black people is the 4th of July. It's your holiday. It's not ours. Everything you talking about this day, the good of this day, if you look at black life in your white America, none of that applies to us.
Okay.
Talk back to me.
That's right, bro.
And I'm mentioning that now. How can you read Frederick Douglass's speech? You don't even know nothing about the speech.
Come on.
You ones that are conscious and say, oh yeah, I read it, I know about it. What did I say at the beginning when I was talking about Assalamu Alaikum? How many other black people have you gotten to read that same speech? How much have you passed on your knowledge of that speech to others? How many other eyes have you opened with that speech the way your eyes were opened by that speech? Every black man and woman in America should have read that speech.
Right.
What to the slaves is the 4th of July.
That's right.
And if you can read it and it doesn't change your life, you need to lose your damn life.
Go ahead.
Talk black to me.
Yes, sir.
Because what he said then applies to your black behind now.
Right.
That's how you should view the 4th of July today. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
And it's a necessary step for you to take on your way to viewing it the way the followers of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad view it. And that is that our dependence was declared on the 4th of July, 1930. And that's why we're the nation of Islam. Not no community of Islam. Not no Muslim mission. We are the nation of Islam. And that's why in point number 8 of what the Muslims believe, it says we believe in justice for all, whether in God or not. That means we don't want justice just for Muslims. We want justice for all, whether they in God or not. We believe, as others, that we are due equal justice as human beings. Taking you right back to the Declaration of Independence, right?
Yes, sir.
We believe in equality, but we believe in equality as a nation of equals. We don't believe in equality as equal citizens of America with the white man. That's not the equality we believe in. We believe in this type of equality. Equality as a black nation equal with all the other nations of the planet. Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
We believe in equality as a nation of equals, an equal nation with other nations, not as just equal individuals within this nation. No, that ain't what we're talking about.
Mm.
We do not believe we are equal with our slave masters in the status of freed slaves.
No, sir.
Meaning what? Meaning that the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments did not make us equal with the white man.
Didn't apply to it.
The 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments did not make us equal with the white man.
No, sir.
The Emancipation Proclamation did not make us equal with the white man.
No, sir.
Talk black to me. So we don't believe in that type of equality.
No, sir.
We believe in separation, independence, and nationhood.
Right.
That's what would make us equal with the white man. White man, you got a country, it's called America. We got our country, and it's called whatever the hell we call it. Right now, it's the Nation of Islam.
Right.
Now we're equal. You have your country with your flag and your government. We have our country with our flag and our government. So we equal now. But until then, we're not equal. Right now, our status in America is the status of freed slaves. You say, no, we're citizens. We're citizens. We're citizens. No, we're not. We're citizens on paper. We're citizens as a trick, as a dupe, as a deception. The white man calls us citizens so that we will believe that we have a stake in America. So that we'll go fight the Iranians for the white man. We'll go fight the Lebanese for the white man. We'll go fight the Yemenis for the white man. We'll go fight the Iraqis for the white man. We'll go fight anybody for the Vietnamese, the Koreans, the Chinese, whoever the white man want to fight. We'll go fight with the white man against anybody. For what? Because the white man said you're a citizen. But in 1961, when the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was speaking at the New York Armory, he was talking about how the white man called us to fight in his damn wars.
Right.
And how the white man said, come on, fight my enemy in this place. You a citizen.
Right.
And the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, when in the hell did you ever make us a citizen? Talk black to me. You think you a citizen of America because the white man lies to you and tells you you a citizen of America. But Malcolm asked the question or made the statement, just because a cat has kittens in an oven, it don't make them biscuits.
That's right.
Just because you were born in America don't make you a citizen. And now Trump is outright saying it. Birthright citizenship, that's over. Y'all all right?
We don't hear.
Trump said, well, that don't count for the Hispanics or the Latinos because that was just for the slaves. Come on, Trump. That wasn't for us either. And what we don't realize is once birthright citizenship is rejected at all, since injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, if you can say that Latinos are not citizens by virtue of them being born in America, you can later on say niggas ain't citizens by virtue of being born in America. Talk black to me. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
The concept of birthright citizenship is part of an amendment to the Constitution. And like Donald Trump said, it was about us being fooled into believing we citizens now. You ain't no damn citizen of America. That's why you don't enjoy the rights of America.
That's right.
The Dred Scott decision came after those amendments. Who heard what I just said? Damn near nobody. The Dred Scott decision came after the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. What does it take to get a civil rights cracker-loving vote nigga to understand?
Come on, brother.
You damn civil rights niggas are stupid. After the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments,
Right.
the Supreme Court came down with a decision that's called the Dred Scott decision.
Right.
What did that decision say? That a black man has no rights that a white man is bound to respect. So explain to me, how in the hell are you a citizen? You say, but Brown versus Board of Education overturned Dred Scott. Really? Really? And what evidence do you have of that? Your imagination, your feelings. Brown versus Board of Education didn't do nothing but make niggas feel good and give white folks a breather. What do you mean, a breather? Because the Brown versus Board of Education decision was like a little cotton candy in the mouth of the Negro to lull us to sleep and make us think something changed.
That's right.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
John Lewis got bust upside the head after Brown versus Board of Education. Martin Luther King ended up in a Birmingham jail after Brown versus Education. The Voting Rights Act was not passed into legislation until after Brown versus Education. And the quality of black life in white America for the masses of black people, not for these Atlanta Negroes, the black bougie elite of Atlanta, the niggas with some money and some illusory respect and power, all of which the white man will slap a nigga down and take from him anytime he wants.
That's right.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
The white man raised niggas in Atlanta and then snatch them down when he feel like it. But life for the masses, not the classes. Life in the streets, not in the suites, is still the same, if not worse,
That's right, brother.
than what it was during Brown versus Board of Education. Y'all listening to me?
Yes, sir.
So you can miss me with black and white together. You can miss me with Christianity. You can miss me with integration. You can miss me with civil rights.
Right.
Black nationalism, black separatism, Pan-Africanism, separation, independence, and a nation of our own. That's what the 4th of July should mean to all black people.
Go ahead.
In the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad
Yes, sir.
Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever. The
Oh.
4th of July. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
All praise is due to Allah
Oh,
for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.